We have been going through appropriation bills today, transportation, housing, urban development. We've had an open rule process where anybody that wanted to bring any amendment could do so. I was a little surprised that my amendment did not pass, had 160 votes today. This is a very simple amendment. We took the last official number we could find from an executive branch from January of 2009, before President Obama was sworn in, and it indicated that there was less than 1% of those getting Section 8 public housing given to them. And so we took the amount of money, clear back from 2009, even though there are indications that it's many times that now. We just took that conservative amount, trying to be conservative, trying to be more than fair, which it was, and said, okay, we've got to send a message to housing and urban development folks. You can't just keep giving housing away. I know the mainstream media never talks about it when there's a Democratic president, but they sure bring it right back up as soon as a Republican takes over the White House, and that is homelessness. Well, if homelessness is ever a problem, then why do we keep offering and paying for people to use federally financed housing when they're not legally getting federally financed housing? So it was, it gets me to use the word only with $24 million, but it was only $24 million that would be the amount reduced from Section 8 public housing, to send a message that, HUD, if you're going to be providing housing to people that are not legally allowed housing, then we're going to cut your funding by that much. Seemed a pretty good amendment, send a message, and I was grateful. Numbers USA, very concerned about the illegal immigration issue, scored that as an important vote, and we got 160 votes. If we cannot, as a majority Republican Congress, muster a majority of votes to say to the rest of the country, we have an obligation in this generation not to spend future generations' money, not to continue to be the first generation in American history to put succeeding generations into so much debt they can never get out of it. We have a moral obligation not to do that. It is absolutely immoral to be spending future generations' money. This is wrong. And if we can't even agree to cut public housing that is provided to people by the amount that was provided 5 years ago illegally, then where are we ever going to make cuts? It would be nice if America were strong enough to house and feed the entire world. But if we try to do that, we will be so devastated and emaciated as a country that we will become a third world country, because you just can't do that. You go bankrupt, then people quit buying your products, and then you have an entire rebound situation. But that's how you can become a destitute country. It's how the Soviet Union went out of business. It's what happens to any country, any group that tries to live under a communist or socialist system. As Margaret Thatcher said, eventually you run out of other people's money and you're broke. A true free market system does not fail. A free market system fails when it becomes more and more and more socialistic, more government control, more giveaways, less reward for one's own work, more reward for not working at all. That brings down a nation under the rules of socialism, because it cannot stand. Not in this life. It cannot. And yet, this Congress, though we're Republican-controlled in the House, is continuing to fail to stand strongly enough to protect future generations. And it's heartbreaking.